The headlines: gunmen kidnap 25 worshippers in Ondo State. Farmers forced to pay bandits in Katsina to harvest farm produce. DSS bar private media from covering Sokoto Governorship Tribunal judgment. Away from Nigeria, 6 dead, 15 trapped underground in Zimbabwe mine accident. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us. Now the details. We'll start with security. The suspected gunmen have abducted some Christian worshippers in the Akure area of Ondo State. The worshippers are members of the Christ Apostolic Church, the CAC, Oke Igang in Akure, the state capital, who were traveling for a burial. It was gathered that the worshippers were abducted along the notorious Ifon Road in the Ose local council area of the state on Friday evening. A source confirmed the incident in the early hours of Saturday to reporters in Akure. The source, who is also a member of the church, said the worshippers were mostly choir members traveling on the road and were waylaid by the gunmen who led them into the bush. Now, Daily Trust reporter in Ondo State, Tosin Tokwe, is joining us to give us an update on the current situation. Now, Tosin, thank you for joining us. So, what is the details and the current situation in Akure, regarding the kidnapping of the members of the CAC?
Well, just like you said, we woke up to the shocking news of about 25 worshippers of CAC Okegun that were abducted by suspected gunmen. But as I talk to you now, according to the state police PRO, that Mrs. Fumi Layo just confirmed that the bus that was conveying the victims were found somewhere around the highway in Ifon, Ose local government area of the state. And, Ifon has been a very dreaded area. That it has been a nightmare for passengers. We have recorded kidnapping cases in that area. And that specific area, that's Elegbeka, it's a border town that is close to Edo State. It's sharing a border between Ondo and Edo State. So that's just the latest. And it's us that spoke with us was able to confirm that some of the victims were Choi members, were choristers in the church, and they were on their way to attend the burial ceremony of one of the church members when they were kidnapped. And that particular area too, don't forget, was where the Olu Ifon, a great A traditional ruler of that community, was also killed by suspected gunmen that in November 2022, to be specific. So the area Elegbeka has been a notorious area in the state and has always been a kidnapper thing.
So what is the security doing, with the situation? Because it seems that area has been really notorious to a certain point that the security agents are aware of it. So what are they saying at the moment?
Yes, according to the security agencies, they've already in the bush. They are combing the area to ensure that the victims are rescued. Although this will not be the first time the security agencies will already be telling us they are on top of the situation. But like I said, that area has been notorious. It has always been a nightmare for motorists and travelers. And it is expected that a checkpoint should be placed in that area. But with the situation so far, men of the Ondo State Security Agency Network, otherwise known as Amotekun Corps, and the police, including the DSS and the men of the Nigerian Armed Forces, are already at that scene as I speak, according to information. They are already combing the bush to ensure that the victims are rescued alive. And also with what the PPRO told me a few minutes ago, that men of the anti-kidnapping squad are also joining the unit to ensure that the victims are rescued and also the kidnappers also are arrested within the maximum time. And let me also inform you that I also spoke with the chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Ondo State, that Reverend Ologunwa. I talked to him and he told me that although he is not aware yet that the CAN unit in that particular area has not informed him, but he also condemned the kidnapping case and also charged the security agencies to rescue the victim alive.
A good one there. Okay, so lastly, quick one. Is the kidnappers, or have they made any contact yet on particular maybe demands?
No, about now, no demand yet and no response from them, and it's unusual. Although it's not yet 24 hours, what we learned was that the kidnapping occurred around 3 p.m. yesterday, Friday. So we are still expecting if they will get in contact with their family to demand ransom. With the situation in the past, anytime there is a kidnapping within 24 hours, the kidnappers will always reach out to the family members to demand ransom. But in this case, it's starting about 25 of the church worshippers were said to be kidnapped. So we don't know how they want to go about it yet. Will they be contacting the 25 families to ask for ransom? But it's expected that anytime soon they might probably contact the family member to ask for ransom.
Well, we hope that, of course, the security agents are able to, bring the perpetrators up to book. Thank you so much, Tosin Tokwe, for joining us today and giving us updates on the issue. That's Tokwe, Daily Trust, a reporter from Ondo. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, away from that, farmers in Katsina are made to pay levies by bandits before they can harvest farm produce. As security ravaging the state continue to take toll on the people. Abdullahi Yamadi reports that farmers in Musawa, Matazu, Damusa, Kankara, Faskari, Sabua and Lendume are forced to contribute money to get access to their farms. The report.
It is harvest time for millet, beans and maize in local government areas of southern Katsina, but farmers are struggling as many will have to pay bandits at least to allow them access their farm for harvest. For instance, farming communities in remote areas of Musawa and Matazu paid about 6 million naira to the bandits for them to harvest farm produce after several appeals to the terrorists.
A lot of farmland now become ideal. Farmers are running away from their farmland because there is no security. If you go to your farm, the bandit will come in your farm and attack you.
To make things worse, about 5 people, including women and children, were abducted from the communities even before negotiations. This implies that ransom must be paid to the bandits to secure the release of their family members, apart from the 6 million naira paid for access to the farms. Residents prefer not to speak to camera to hide their identity for the fear of further attacks on their villages. Similarly, commercial drivers in Katsina plying Kankara Shemi Gusau Road have abandoned the route, describing it as death trap. Katsina Kauran Namoda Road is another deserted route, as any driver who chooses to ply the road does so at his own risk.
There is a lot of insecurity cases that is happening along the Jibe Road, so that's why people prefer to follow through Funtua Road.
Get me clear, please. Insecurity has devastated this region, and anybody suggesting negotiations with terrorists should be treated as a traitor. Look, we know what we are going through over the last 9 years. Hundreds of people from Katsina State alone are currently in the hands of bandits who abduct and treat people like animals. The underground work being initiated by Governor Rada is a welcome development, and we hope that will work. The drivers are calling on the federal government to secure the region from the incessant bandits' attacks. Abdullahi Izmayamadi, Trust Television News, Kazana.
Despite the existence of 4 grazing reserves in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, the friction between the pastoral Fulani and farming communities has not abated. Paikonkore Grazing Reserve, located in Gwagwalada Area Council, is the biggest, and it has witnessed rounds of conflicts between the herders and the native community, leading to loss of lives as well as destruction of farm produce and animals. Adam Umar, who speaks to stakeholders on the persistence of clashes between the two communities in Abuja. His report is presented from our studio.
The Paikonkore Grazing Reserve, sitting on about 8,500 hectares of land, was conceived around 1991 by the military administration of General Ibrahim Babangida to address the menace of wandering animals, especially around the Abuja airport access. A former director, Animal Services, a department under the FCT Agriculture and Rural Development Secretariat, Dr. Zayanu Garba, told Trust TV reporter that the military government directed the then FCT minister, Gado Nasco, to set up the grazing reserve for this purpose. Garba said the inhabitants of the facility were assisted through various interventions from the Agric Secretariat of the FCT, with farmers given inputs like fertilizer, seed and chemicals, while herders received veterinary health care services in addition to 2 nomadic primary schools and a milk collection center. However, these services are non-existent now at any of the grazing reserves. Jibril Ibn Jafar is the secretary of Paikonkore Native Community, and he speaks on the issue.
Herders therefore come into this area with a sense of belonging that the place has been carved for grazing, without farmer being compensated, relocated, or shifted as the government deem it fit. It now creates crisis because the herders come in with sense of entitlement that this is their place because it has been carved for grazing. But the farmers also are still having their sense of entitlement because it has been their local land that they inherited from their great-grandfathers.
A recent clash between farmers and herders in the month of September led to the killing of one Ilya Shuaibu Kolo, a vigilante group member.
Before they get to that farm, there was nothing like that. It's after attacking this youth, 22 years old youth that they killed, that was when they set that place ablaze. But in that position of the Aruga, no any youth have stepped into that location. So it's so amazing to us that we heard that the place was burned, and which there is no anybody that went there.
Apart from Paikonkore Grazing Reserve located in Gwagwalada Council, there are 3 others at Rubochi, Shere and Karshi located in Kuje, Buari and Abuja Municipal Area Councils.
The Chief Coroner, Lagos State, inquiring into the death of the 27-year-old Ilerioluwa Oladimeji Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad, has held a preliminary sitting to discuss the modalities of the cause of his death. Aishat Momo files in this report as presented from our studio.
Protests followed the reported death of the Nigerian musician Mohbad, who died allegedly of an ear infection in Lagos on 12 September 2023. Lagos State government ordered a coroner inquest to ascertain the cause of his death. Counsel represented the family of the deceased, Funmilayo Falana, while speaking to journalists who were barred from the courtroom on Friday, assured Nigerians that justice will be served in the case.
So I don't know what they mean by to fulfill righteousness, but what we are here to do is to ensure that the cause of justice is served, that we get to the root cause of the death of the young man, so that at least it will act as a deterrent. Whoever is supposed to be sanctioned, or of course, whatever is supposed to be done, so that such will not happen again. Yes. That's the essence of the coroner. The coroner is inquisitorial and not adversarial. It is to inquire into the cause of death.
The inquest is in pursuant to the extant provision of sections 14 and 15 of the Coroner System Law of Lagos State, Cap C-15 Laws of Lagos State 2015. The coroner has however fixed October 15th for the hearing.
In politics, the operatives from the Department of State Security, DSS, has barred journalists from private media from covering the judgment of the Sokoto Governorship Election Petition Tribunal currently going on at the High Court premises. The operatives, who said that they were working on directive from above, allowed only NTA, the news agency of Nigeria, and the state-owned media journalists into the courtroom. The Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Jalingo State, the Taraba state capital, is set to deliver judgment. Now, the three judges had to, or at the time of filing this report, already seated. The counsels to the PDP and the NNPP were already in the court premises before the arrival of the three judges. Similarly, key members of the two political parties and journalists were also seated. Outside the court premises, there is tight security along all the roads leading to the tribunal. Meanwhile, there is a heavy security presence at the Magistrate Court, Isabo Abeokuta, venue of the Ogun State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal. The scores of security operatives, including policemen, the DSS, NSCDC, and Amotekun Corps, took over the court as early as 6 a.m., blocking the roads inward and outward of the court. This is as a three-man panel headed by Justice Hamidu Kunasa is set to deliver judgment on the petition filed by the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, and its governorship candidate, Ladi Adebutu, against the victory of Dakpo Abiodun on Saturday, March 18th. The panel, which commenced sitting by 9 a.m. as hundreds of party loyalists who were prevented from entering the court premises were seen hanging around the court. The security operatives also prevented some journalists from gaining access to the court premises. You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, we'll take a look at how selling dead animals meat landed 8 in trouble. This and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Here's a recap of our top stories. Obochu gunmen kidnapped 25 worshippers in Ondo State. And farmers forced to pay bandits in Katsina to harvest farm produce. Moving on to more stories, the operatives of the Federal Operations Unit of the Nigeria Customs in the Southwest Zone have arrested a wildlife smuggling kingpin, Felix Maiva, who has been on the run since 2021. According to a statement by the spokesperson for FOU Zone A, the suspect is a shipping agent for an organized crime group that is wanted by the Nigeria Customs Service for their involvement in the January 2021 seizure and other organized wildlife trafficking offenses. The acting controller of the unit, Hussein Ejibunu, commended the officers for their tact, intelligence, and consistency in following up on the suspect, adding that smuggling suspects, no matter how far they run, will be caught by the long arms of the law. Ejibunu also described the breakthrough as a morale booster for officers following up on similar cases and suspects. Maiva's arrest is a fallout of an intense investigation and surveillance over the discovery of a 1 by 20 feet container laden with 4,752 kg of elephant ivory, 5,239 kg of pangolin scales, 5,000 of rhinoceros horns, and some lion skeletons to be exported to Haiphong, Vietnam in January 2021 through the Apapa Seaport, Lagos. The operatives of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps have arrested 8 persons allegedly selling dead animals' meat in Gombe State. The suspects were apprehended following intelligence gathered by operative of the NSCDC command in the state. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
40-year-old Mary Paul is the leader of the dead animal meat syndicate operating in Gombe for the past 2 years. This dead cow was impounded from the syndicate when operatives of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps intercepted the team. While transporting the dead animal, they bought at the rate of 30,000 naira.
You know, since I used to sell bush meat, so I do smoke both that one too, together with the bush meat. I'm sorry, it's condition. I don't have a husband, it's what I used to feed the children.
We usually cut the meat into pieces, roast it, and then transport it to Delta State. The NSCDC said it will not take the matter lightly because selling meat from dead animals constitutes danger to people's lives.
We arrested 5 suspects, but ongoing investigations show that there are remaining ones that have fled. And I make bold to tell you that we have arrested the 3. They are all now complete, intact. 8 of them are here. Now, after dutiful investigation, they will be taken to court so that they will answer their charges.
It is not clear how many people might have eaten the unhealthy dead animal's meat bought from the suspects, but it has been confirmed that the syndicate has been operating for over 2 years, suggesting that a lot of people might have consumed the unwholesome meat. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Residents and road users have continued to decry the deplorable condition of roads in some areas of Lagos State. Among the affected areas is the Oko-Oba Agege area, from where Aishat Momo filed in this report, as presented from our studio.
Residents in the Oko-Oba Agege area of Lagos State are groaning over the deplorable condition of roads in the area. Oko-Oba Agege remains one of the areas in the state with dilapidated roads from Orile down to Abattoir Junction. Some residents and road users on Ilobo Street, while speaking with our reporter, said the roads have become worse than they were in the past.
So we have suffered a lot on this road. Most people have fallen down on this road. Some are breaking leg, carried to the hospital, taken to the hospitals. When do you see, if you can see the road now, you see it's not in good condition. Sometimes they can send the children to go and throw away water. It can fall into the gutter, to the gutter, so that it will affect it. And by going down to the end of this street, we see canal over there. And when the kid enter the gutter, there's no way that you can remove him anymore again. So that's how we lost life.
Drivers plying that route also complained that the state of the road has forced vehicles to move at snail speed as they try to navigate through the myriad of potholes, while other drivers have been forced to change their routes.
Affected by this length too much. All the theater motor we carry no could come Abattoir again, save this road. This road is no good at all. Help us, Nigeria. You understand? What is about to do? Say we do it, patch. We'll do anything here.
Either rain or no rain, it's very, very critical. The road is too bad that we cannot even afford to. We normally spoil our keke anyway. To the extent, you can see there is little keke here now. Formerly, we used to have more than 20 kekes here, but most of them have gone to mechanic because of the road. It's too bad. It's more than bad.
We don't have any access to pass the road when the rain starts.
They, however, called for quick intervention from the government in area repairs and maintenance.
Away from Nigeria, 6 miners died after a ground collapse at Zimbabwe's Bay Horse mine in Chegutu, 100 kilometers west of the capital Harare. State television reported on Friday. The ZBC TV said 6 bodies have been retrieved from the mine by Friday night, while another 15 miners were still trapped underground and rescue efforts were underway. The mine collapsed on Friday, trapped 34 miners underground. Although 13 miners managed to escape, 21 had remained trapped underground, the ZBC reported. Finally, in sports, the Bendel Insurance crashed out of the CAF Confederation Cup following a 1-0 defeat to Morocco's RS Berkane. Yusuf Zigodi beat an offside trap early in the first half to score the only goal of the game. Now, both teams battled to a 2-2 draw in the first leg 2 weeks ago at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin City. RS Berkane, who won the competition in 2022, proceeded to the group stage 3-2 on aggregate. Nigeria's other representative in the competition, Rivers United, will entertain Burkina Faso's Etoile Filante on Sunday. The fixture is slated for the Adokiye Amiesi Maka Stadium, Port Harcourt. The Port Harcourt club were held to a 0-0 by the Burkinabes in the first leg. And with that, we wrap up news update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms, and you can join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.